If you're expecting a faithful recreation of the Oscar-winning 1974 film, you're gonna be spectacularly disappointed. No, you don't play as Michael Corleone. Instead, you play as an original non-canon character named Dominic. You start as an underboss to Aldo Trapani, who you actually played as in the first game. So the game kicks off in Cuba on New Year's Eve in 1958. You're at a birthday party of a mob boss, Hyman Roth, and all the big mob families are there too. You walk around the party, you talk to some folks, and you get a feel for the dialogue mechanics. But then things go south really fast. The Cuban Revolution happens right in the middle of the party. The rebels take over the city, and suddenly you're fighting for your life, trying to escort Michael and Fredo Corleone and your boss Aldo to an airplane to escape. And during a chaotic shootout at the airport, Aldo Trapani gets sniped and killed. But you manage to escape on the plane, and once you get back to the States, Michael Corleone basically promotes you to the rank of Don right there on the spot. Your job is now to rebuild the Corleone family from the ground up, expand your territory, and completely wipe out rival mafia families. The game takes you across 3 main maps: New York, Florida, and eventually you go back to Cuba.
Not okay. What the f was that?
I didn't see who did it. They got away too fast.
I'll tell you who did it. That backstabber Mangano.
The whole story revolves around you taking down 5 rival families. You've got the Carmine Rosado family, the Tony Rosados, the Granados, the Manganos, and the Almeidas. As you take over their businesses and kill their guys, you get tangled up in some familiar movie plotlines. Like there's a whole section where you deal with the Senate committee hearings on organized crime with Frank Pentangeli. Frank gets backed into a corner, but ultimately he doesn't testify against Michael and the senator dismisses the hearing. But then we get to the ending of the game and holy crap, this is where the devs just lost their minds in the best way possible. After you wipe out every single rival family and assassinate Hyman Roth at the Miami airport, you go back to Michael and Tom Hagen. They congratulate you, tell you the war is over, and officially name you as Dominic Corleone. Then the game drops you into a recreation of the most famous scene from the movie. You know the one, Fredo's betrayal. In the movie, some assassin shoots Fredo on a fishing boat on Lake Tahoe. But in the game, you're the one on the boat. You're the one holding the gun. The game literally ends with Dominic pulling the trigger and killing Fredo Corleone, saying, "Fredo, I'm sorry." It's such an insane twist on a classic movie moment, and honestly it hits incredibly hard. Look, the story isn't winning any writing awards, but as a basic framework for mobster violence, it gets the job done and keeps you moving forward. And with all that said, I actually enjoyed whatever story it had. Like back when I played it, I was actually excited to see characters from the movie doing different non-canon things, you know. Anyways, let's move on to the visuals. Right, let's talk about the graphics because back in 2009 it was universally dunked on by critics for looking like a low-poly mess. Like the architectural design of New York, Miami, and Havana is astoundingly generic. The environments simply do very little to draw you into the mobster fantasy. And when driving down the street, seeing buildings awkwardly popping into existence just looks bad. The textures are flat, the lighting is incredibly lifeless, and the character models look like they were ripped straight out of an early PS2 title. The cars handle like heavy objects sliding on ice, and the physics engine is stiff, leading to some bizarre visual glitches like characters walking into walls or just stand there T-posing like idiots. However, there's a weird duality to the art style here. While the macro-level open world is hideous, the micro-level animations during hand-to-hand combat are shockingly brutal and incredibly well-crafted. Like when Dominic grabs a rival mobster and executes a specific finishing move, the camera dramatically zooms in, the graphics suddenly seem to sharpen up, and the sheer impact of the violence takes center stage. Smashing a thug's face repeatedly into a cash register or tossing them off a high ledge feels incredibly weighty and satisfying. It's crystal clear that they poured their entire animation budget into combat and executions, leaving the city streets to look like a forgotten afterthought. So, while the art style is definitively a product of a rushed 2009 development cycle, it possesses a certain nostalgic charm only for people who played it back then. Now looking back at it today, I'm like, what the hell are these graphics? But again, when I played it in 2009, I had like a really crappy laptop. I remember I played it on low settings, and even then I was just getting like 20 frames per second. I really didn't care about graphics back then, but now it's a much different story, so yeah.
I look out for them, and they look out for me. Understand?
It's a deal. Just don't let things get too out of control, okay?
Anyways, moving past those amazing graphics and the amazing story, the gameplay is exactly where I feel like it kinda redeems itself. It transforms from a generic GTA knockoff into something truly special. The devs pushed this tagline that said, "Act like a mobster, think like a don," and they built the game around this. First up, the whole game revolves around a feature called the Don's View. It's basically a representation of your entire criminal empire spread across 3 distinct cities. Instead of just driving mindlessly from point A to point B to shoot random goons, you must actively manage businesses, analyze crime patterns, place defensive guards, and identify lucrative monopolies. You can look at all rival businesses in the city, check exactly how many guards are defending them, manage your finances, and even upgrade your crew's skills. The core gameplay loop revolves around extorting illicit rackets, like harmless-looking bakeries hiding underground casinos, or oil depots fronting for weapon smuggling operations. And to make money, you gotta hit the streets and extort these businesses. Like you walk into a bakery, a strip club, or a construction site, and you have to then convince the owner to pay you protection money. And every business owner has a specific weak point. Maybe they're terrified of property damage, or maybe they get scared when you dangle them off a roof. But here's where it gets brilliant. The game uses a system called crime rings. Every single business is part of a larger monopoly. There are 9 different types of crime rings in the game: prostitution, drugs, gun running, construction, diamond smuggling, gambling, armored cars, adult entertainment, and fronts. If you manage to take over every single business in a specific ring, you establish a monopoly and your entire family gets a permanent gameplay buff. Like for example, if you take over all the diamond smuggling rackets, your entire crew gets bulletproof vests. But you then also have to protect these monopolies. Because at any moment while you're out doing a story mission, a rival family can send a hit squad to attack your business. If you lose even one business in the ring, you lose the bonus for your entire crew instantly. It creates this amazing tug of war where you're constantly jumping into Don's View to assign guards and defend your turf. You can literally send your own guys to blow up a rival's casino just to break their crime ring and strip away their bulletproof vests before you go fight them in person. It's such a deep tactical system that's so rare to see in an action game now. Speaking of your guys, let's talk about your crew. The game doesn't make you a one-man army. You actually have to recruit a family. You walk around the city and you'll find random mobsters hanging out. You can recruit them into your family tree. You start with soldiers, but as you grow, you can promote them to capos and eventually get to pick an underboss. And every guy you recruit has a specific specialty. You've got the arsonists, demolitions experts, bruisers, safecrackers, engineers, and medics. But you can only take 3 of these guys with you at any time to form your own little hit squad. And you really need them. Say like you want to take over a construction site. You'll need an engineer to cut the fence to get inside, maybe a bruiser to kick open the door to the foreman's office, and a safecracker to steal the money hidden upstairs. And if one of your guys takes too much damage, they end up in the hospital and you literally can't use them for a while unless you pay to rush their recovery. Now, let's talk about the combat. The shooting is fine, like it's a standard third-person cover shooter, and it has this targeting system which is kinda cool. You can manually aim or you can use a lock-on. Every enemy has 4 weak points, their knees and their shoulders. If you shoot a guy in the knee, he drops to the ground and can't run around anymore. If you shoot him in the shoulder, he drops his gun and can't fire back. It adds a really nice tactical layer to the gunfights. But the real fun is the whole brutality mechanic. If you walk up to a guy, you can grab him, swing him around, strangle him, throw him over ledges, or throw him out of windows. When an enemy is almost dead, you can do these brutal execution moves depending on what weapon you're holding. You can smash their head in with a baseball bat, beat them with a tire iron, choke them out with a pool cue, or simply garrote them.
Don't kill me.
And you're gonna be doing a lot of executions because the game has this revenge system. So basically, rival families also have their own hierarchy trees full of made men. And if you just shoot one in a gunfight, he doesn't actually die. He just goes to the hospital, recovers, and comes back to hunt you down later. To permanently kill them, you gotta do a specific kill condition. For example, to actually kill someone, the game might say you have to let a bruiser shank him from behind. Or another guy might need to be killed specifically with an explosive. And if you screw it up, you have to wait for them to heal and try again later. On top of this, you also have corrupt officials. You can find police chiefs, judges, district attorneys, and CIA agents hanging around. If you do dirty work for them, they owe you a favor. You can stack these favors up and use them in the Don's View menu whenever you want. Say you completely botch a hit and suddenly every cop in New York is shooting at you. Just cash in a favor with the police chief and boom, your heat goes instantly to 0. You can even get favors to instantly heal your guys from the hospital or call in the police to raid a rival family's compound. It makes you feel like an absolute untouchable mafia boss who controls the entire city from the shadows.
These shitheads you're working for ain't worth your life. Let me control the action here. Got it?
Okay, the racket's yours. Just lay off of me, all right?
So, with all these amazing mechanics, you would think this game is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, right? Well, here's where we talk about the negatives. Another big issue with Godfather 2 is the length and the difficulty. Simply put, the game is way too easy and it's way too short. If you know what you're doing, you can blow through the entire single-player campaign in about 12 hours. And the difficulty balance is completely broken. Early in the game, it's pretty challenging when you just have pistols and no armor. But once you take over the diamond smuggling ring and the chop shops, your entire crew gets permanent bulletproof vests and armored cars. Once you have those bonuses, you basically become invincible. And the enemy AI is also incredibly dumb. The rival Dons are supposed to be these strategic masterminds, but they really don't put up much of a fight. They'll send a few guys to attack a bakery every now and then, but they never mount a coordinated assault that actually threatens your empire. So what happens is that the game quickly turns into a bit of a chore. You drive to a location, shoot some brain-dead guards, smash a cash register, take over the racket, assign a few guards of your own, and then drive to the next one. Rinse and repeat. Because the enemies can't really hurt you late in the game, all the deep tactical stuff kind of falls off. You don't really need to play smart when you can just walk through the front door with an incendiary shotgun and wipe out an entire compound by yourself. It's a real shame because I feel like if the game had pushed back a little harder, the mechanics would shine so much brighter. So what's the final verdict on Godfather 2? Look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's a flawless masterpiece. It's janky, the graphics are muddy, the cars disappear, the AI is dumb, and the game is over way too quickly. If you go in expecting a polished cinematic storytelling of, say, a mafia game, you're gonna be incredibly disappointed. But if you're willing to look past the jank, what you will find is a game that tried to do things that nobody else was doing. The Don's View, the crime rings, the monopoly bonuses, the crew management, the kill conditions for rival mobsters. It's an insanely deep web of mechanics that actually makes you feel like a mafia boss running an empire. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for today. Let me know in the comments if you ever played this game back in the day. Hit like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.